in December. For as long as I remember, and it's hazy. So my life's been standing thin as it is. I don't wanna walk away, but I know that I shouldn't stay. 'Cause this might be the only way that we can survive.
So you have a song coming out titled Stuck in December.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and so what made you, how did you come up with that? Let's see. Like, were you going through something when you made it? Is it about a specific person, or you just was locked in the booth one day and just?
I was I stayed in the booth and I was just writing down lyrics, and I went through a list of songs and a number of people, like songs that don't get old.
Mm-hmm.
I look at a whole bunch of those songs, and one of those songs was September by Earth, Wind & Fire. So I was like, oh man, that song is written and carried out the way it is because nobody kind of connected to the content of the song, but they more so connected to the catchiness of how it is. And so for me, I wanted to make the content of the song the main leading focus of the entire song. When you're singing September, the one thing you're going to remember is the body out and all that. But when you're singing my song, for instance, the more I want to lead people into focusing a little bit more on what I'm saying while actually getting something catchy out of it. Like mine, I do a snippet of it. It's like, I don't want to be the bad guy, like in the mental state of mind when I was writing that song, I was debating on whether or not I would have to cut off a lot of people in order to get to where I need to in my music, or if I should hold on to them for what I'm doing, and for who they were to me.
And when is that release date for that single?
The music video actually is going to be out next week.
Mm-hmm.
The music video
will be out next week, and the audio is probably going to come out a little bit after that due to how the platform releases work.
Yeah,
so
platform releases work. It's more like a 30-day frame.
But the music video will be out next week.
Yeah, over a 30-day period, it should be on every single platform. But
is that your first? That's not your first music video, huh?
As Gudlnd it is.
As Gudlnd it is, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what was the first name you said? Truth Key? What was it?
Truthbringer, yeah.
Truthbringer.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between the two?
I feel like with Truthbringer, I was more so trying to find my own truth. And once I did, I kind of found my own pocket, and I ended up... Because I always feel like with every name that I had, I was always searching for something. Searching for... my first rap name was EJ. I was searching for a different name, something that'll stand me out above the rest. For Truthbringer, I was more so searching for the best way to make my sound come alive. And now that I found that, now that I found the way my sound is, I named myself Gudlnd to search for the good land, to be honest with you. The place where you can have what you want, do what you want, be who you want, how you want. And that's kind of the soul ground of music. It constantly evolves and changes, but at the same time you're always on yearning for something when you're looking at music.
Hopefully it's the last name change.
No.
What would you be like, man, I got this different name. I'm like, man, you're a different name.
But
This
the
time
last
again.
name change, because what Gudlnd stands for, the reason why I worded it the way I did, I worded it because the name stands for God understands depth and love never dies. Basically, around that, I see it as searching for the good land, reaching like the heaven of music, reaching that peak of music where you never get sick of listening to the songs that I make when I'm Gudlnd, because I am the peak music, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta carry myself like that, because if I don't, then I'm gonna have doubts in my music and myself, and then it'll start to reflect on my music. So when I carry myself as Gudlnd, I'm carrying myself as I like to see myself constantly changing, but also being the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, And I'm getting all cocky about it, but like,
No, I don't think there's no
if I
such
don't
thing as
talk-
cocky.
Look, if I don't talk big about myself, nobody will. So
Yeah, there's no such thing as cocky,
I'm
man.
big up myself.
Nah.
on
You
that.
gotta have confidence.
Exactly. So have you always just been an engineer? Or has he ever hopped on the track? Like,
Oh, what he
didn't have them
has.
I have.
He is one of the most underrated rappers,
been on
in
a
my
couple
opinion.
tracks and
why is it always like that? It's
It
always
is-
the real MCs. They say, "Nah, I'm gonna just create
Yeah,
this." And
Yeah, no. Like,
I had an uncle
really,
like that.
Really though, honestly, because I've done a lot of producing work for a lot of groups that I messed around with back in the day, and even still today I do some production work for them. But in that case scenario, like in his, he was just like, man, I feel as though I'm too good at this now.
no, it was. I don't know.
he
I
might
guess
have a
he doubts
whole.
himself
He
so
might have a
much,
whole
man.
album like the freaking Blueprint.
He doubts himself.
I have
so
been
much.
told and been asked.
Like he
this,
sees
where
himself
it's
as
at.
P.
I do a
Diddy.
feature. I don't mind doing features. I have done a couple features, but I rather I get to the point to where I'm like, okay, I'll be behind the scenes and like help make the artist sound good as well. So I mean I would get my credit just
Hey,
later on
right.
in the credits.
Yeah,
but
well-
it just wouldn't be in the forefront.
But here's the thing: from me
if
to
you sound good, then I look good.
right?
That's
That's the
see
thing
it
with
more.
him, though. Like I've heard the songs he's made back in the day, and I've heard the songs that he's made with me on a constant daily basis. One of the most underrated on the mic, period, in my opinion. And he sees himself more as like the P. Diddy to the Notorious B.I.G. I kind of see it more as like Jay-Z and Kanye back in the day. Because like Kanye used to produce for everybody, all the legends, Jay-Z, Talib Kweli, Jeezy, T-Pain, Wayne. He produced for everybody. He was just there.
Behind the
But
scenes.
people knew that he could spit, and every time they would talk about him spitting, they were all like, oh man, you should drop something, you should drop something. And then the college dropout happened. And you see how that turned out,
Did
right?
y'all watch that Kanye doc on Netflix?
Yeah, I've seen
You
parts
saw
of it.
that?
I've seen
Yeah,
parts.
so
Like the label Dame Dash didn't even want him rapping. Just just make
Exactly.
beats.
Right.
And that dude Kanye said, "Nah, f that. I'm about to start rapping."
Because he
Now you-
like that's when he found his peak, drive. And Kanye, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do what I want, no matter what, to the ends of the earth, because I'm Kanye, I'm a god, and I can do what I want. With Jared, his ego's not that huge. It's like he's got a big ego, but
But it's in the music.
it's in the music.
'Cause, like I
Yeah.
probably told him plenty of times when we were working in the studio. I'm like, look, man. I was like, man, I think this is nice. I think this sounds good.
Yeah.
And it's probably a beat I made, but I'm like, man, it sounds good, man. It's cool. Because there's a couple on this album. I called him. I said, man, look. I said, man, I had a vision. I had a vision on a beat. All I need, just make a guitar. Remember that one?
Yep.
That was Silicone Bar.
Yeah, Silicone Bars. He told me.
I said, man, look, just give me a guitar, man. That's all I need. I just need a low. I think it's like a calm, like sitting on a beach kind of guitar. Sit that to me. That's all I need. Made everything else, and I sent him that beat. And I said, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Listen to what I just said.
I was in the middle of the road, just.
Pull over to the side.
I sure did. I played what he played, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
so that
man.
was Silicone Bar.
That hit different. And I feel like that's the thing is you find your niche when you're on the road to it. Like you were in your pocket for doing a lot of rapping, and you
Yeah.
do.
And there was a couple
Rap.
actually on this song I
Like,
could have been
he
on
raps.
this album. I could have been on.
Yeah.
I didn't like. It. I was like scratching it. I am on one song, and that's it.
And I'm
So
telling you,
and I was like, look,
bro.
this is your album, man. You gotta do your thing.
And sure enough, I'll say it to the ends of the earth. Like I'll always push him to get on a track. I will always push him to get on a track.
Right.
You can hate me later for it, but he is one of the most underrated on the mic, and he is mature enough to where if he's like, oh, I don't like this but I'll just leave myself on it anyway. He's mature enough to back it up and be like, nah.
Yeah.
All right. This
some
needs to
people don't
sound
know how to do
perfect,
that.
and I'm making it sound ass.
For the team.
You know, like
You gotta do his best for the
you
team.
got exactly, and
But,
he really
man,
holds his own.
Before we wrap this up, man, I just want to let y'all know I really appreciate you guys coming, to Baton Rouge from Lafayette,
Anytime.
coming out here today. You guys dropped some jewels too. That's why it's called Nothing But Facts. People come on here and they drop facts.
Yeah.
And so shout out to Premax Records. Shout out to you guys' journey, the music. And we definitely going to be listening to your single, man. We're looking forward to the album, man.
I appreciate it.
Comes out. Look out for the video.
Oh yeah,
It'll be out
starts
next
in
week.
December.
Hey, just send me the link too whenever it drops.
Oh yeah,
Send me the link.
definitely. You got the link
When we
the video
drop
come out,
it, it's
and also
going
when
down. You got the link.
when the track comes
You got
out.
it, yeah.
I mean, because the
Track,
album.
the album, I'm gonna let you know when it all drops.
Yeah, the album is not too far away from here. We're releasing this one.
And what's y'all's social media handles so they can...
Mine is Instagram, Facebook at Gudlnd Gudlnd. Anywhere you find me there, you can find me on Twitter Gudlnd, YouTube Gudlnd. I'm the only one with the name, so I think I'm doing pretty good as being independent and discreet.
Yeah,
know?
you can see a lot of the music too on Premax Records on Facebook, at Premax Records on Instagram, Premax Records on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Still working on trying to get that J Steve thing going.
Y'all
That's
spam,
gonna be
y'all
in the
spam
works.
Premax Records and
That's gonna
tell
be in the
him.
works.
Y'all tell him get his own J Steve page
That's gonna be
going
in the
and
works. But,
up.
So yeah, that's all on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, at Premax Records, and Gudlnd on all of that.
All platforms.